So I'm riding the storm at the moment, so to speak, of everything going on. And what it is just I started, how can I put it? So with spirituality, I just have a go at it. Well, sorry, with my mental health, which overlaps with spirituality. I just have a go. I just complain, because from my perspective, what I'm experiencing isn't correct. In terms of everything I've learned, in terms of sincerity, in terms of being a human being, in terms of innocence, what I'm experiencing isn't correct. And I have to do my part in that relationship and express, because that's the world we've been brought up in. We have this means of communication called language, and it just is. I'm not complaining, I'm not putting it into any perspective. But it's often misused in this world, I think. And if we keep it simplistic, it's to express and be honest, to get what we want, to make a means of exchange, to help create, and then you can get into the nicer aspects in terms of singing and poetry and artistic expressions of voice. But in terms of language and communication, I speak for X. My mental health challenges me, and I don't know how to communicate to it. So sorry, I'm deaf in my left ear. It challenges me, and because I can see over spirituality and reality overlap with my mental health, it creates confusion and questions in me. Where that confusion arises, there's often a very serious presentation of something that needs to be addressed. So what do? In my aloneness, in my head, to my mental health, that the outside world doesn't want to understand, because they don't. They just say mental health, it doesn't fit in with the status quo. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a label on you that you've got a mental health condition, and that'll be it. That'll be it for you. That'll be your conditioning, your integration into the collective society we share. And that will be it. You have a choice, depending on how hard your mental health is. You can choose what to do. Do you take medication? Do you go alternative complementary? Do you try and deal with it yourself, like totally just with your head? Or try something else? For me, my mental health is clear to me, and I could be wrong, but for me, within my mental health, within my world, I've gone out on a limb and said, beyond all evidence presented to me, my mental health condition, I'm not alone within it. That's how I view it. And where I'm not alone within it, I can see people are aware of it. This is my perception. But before we get into other people, let's keep it simplistic and say spirituality, because spirituality is what I know, it's what I've learned, it's what I've studied, it's what is my comprehension, my relationship with the world, it's the way I decode the world and find truth. Within that, I can clearly see overlaps where my mental health should end. Like, this should be the limitations of my mental health. If I was a sovereign human being, and if I was alone, and if it was just by accident, but it's not. My mental health condition is instigated by something. And before I get too brave and start putting names on, other than my father, who I just consider responsible for my life, as the first person, you know, he's your father. He will be responsible for you above anybody else. So if you've got a mental health problem in your head, it goes back to your father. But it is the outside world, in the sense that I believe it's created by an external force, even if it's partially. It's there to take responsibility for what's going on, and that's what I'm stating. My mental health, I'm not alone within it. So I've got a problem in my head that's as a result of other people, and I can see that that's the situation for me. What do? I talk to it, but in a way that it's appropriate. So I talk mostly when the pain is so much that I need cheering up, and I allow myself to go into a place of it's like imagine you're being harassed. Yeah, you're out in a nightclub and you're a woman and you're being harassed by a man, and you just want to be left alone. If you just start talking bollocks, like he's asking you to go out on a date, or he's going back to his place or something, and you start talking bollocks to him, you start saying, yeah, but did you see on the news the other day when that car smashed into the window of that house and it blew up in flames? Now, you're not doing it for yourself, because it's not pleasant to talk nonsense, is it? But if you present to someone if you present to the situation lunacy, you get peace. And that's what it is. When I'm being terrorised by my mental health, I escape into whatever's there, whatever my mental health is presenting to me as a, I don't know, how would you reference it, as whatever's important at that particular time in my mind as a result of my mental health. And I just allow myself to be light-hearted to it. I allow myself to just go off on wherever it wants to go, and just allow myself, you know, if it wants to think about the far edges of the universe. I allow myself to think about the far edges of the universe. If it wants me to think about, I don't know, computers or something, I'll think about computers. But what it is, it's a case of, that's when I'm just trying to appease the situation. But there are times when I'm being challenged to the extent where I'm being terrorized. And like that woman in the nightclub being harassed by this gentleman. You tell it to fuck off. Quite simply. You tell it to fuck off, and then if it doesn't fuck off, you go and get a security guard to tell it to fuck off. Don't let yourself go insane by it, but what I'm getting at is I've created a narrative and a discussion point, even if it's one-way abuse from me to my mental health. It's been there, and there's a catalogue, and it's got if analysed, it's got things to think about. So like today, I've been riding this storm in my life now for a few weeks, and I'm here and I'm like, I've been trying to keep myself positive. I mean, I'm in terror. I've lost my mind in essence. I can't get a grip with how bad things are in my life, but there's no help on the outside, because the help on the outside is medication. And from my personal viewpoint, medication is part of the problem. It doesn't make it any better. It hasn't done for the last two occasions. And admittedly, I can use medication in a means to get better, but of itself, that's like me using any poison to make myself get better. With a certain level of consciousness, you can do that. But on the whole, it's a poison. On the whole, I don't wish it. On the whole, it makes my mental health worse. On the whole, it's a problem. So I'm alone to my mental health. I've got to find solutions for myself. And within that terror, within the terrorization, the constant relentless beating, I've learnt to become positive. Because my body will suffer. For my body, I need to be positive. If you're negative, that stress on your body takes a toll. And if you're living life and you're balanced, it's not so much of a problem. But when it's all the time and you don't have a means out, you have to stay positive if you want things to get better. Because if your body degrades, then your mental health is going to degrade, and it's going to be a quick downhill. So I have to stay positive at present, even though it's insanity that I'm positive. But I am, and I'm just waiting for my mental health to go away, and then I'll go back to reality of how depressing things are, because that's what's going on. This is depressing, but I'm keeping positive within the depression. And what's happening is it's like today it wanted to tell me that my life's getting better, and it is, you know. It's like there are a few little improvements, but as soon as that narrative came on, I just lost it. I just said, fuck off, what are you doing? You're just wasting my time. All of this is pointless. The past few weeks have been pointless. I've just been beaten every day, all the time, non-stop, to the extent that I can't catch my breath. And it's pointless. Because it wants me to believe the last 3 weeks have been of something, of value, of a constructive way forward, of a means to do something. But no, I'm just waiting for my mental health to get its mind together and leave me alone. Because 3 weeks ago, it might have been longer, as I said, I've been beaten non-stop, relentlessly. I can't keep up with time. And I should be working on my boat. The stress I've got at home of not being able to work on my boat, and the likelihood of being evicted with that stress and needing to get on with the work is surreal. And today it wanted to tell me that I'm getting on with things, I'm moving forward, and I'm like, I can't take that. I need to keep it simplistic, and the simplicity is, you've wasted my time for the past few weeks. You've put me in places where I've experienced levels of depression and hell that I've never experienced before. And it's important, because what he wanted to do then is take my positivity that I'm using in terms of practicality in the moment, and then make me believe something about what's going on. But no, I have to complain, I have to be real, I have to be honest, I have to be truthful, because if not, this is just going to keep happening, and I can't live like this, man. Nobody can. It's not a life. I'm not alive here. I'm not saying that for sympathy. I'm saying that in terms of practicality, what I'm trying to do in terms of my mental health, because if anybody else had this, it's the same situation. Sorry, I'm in a bit of discomfort with my body at present, so I'm just taking a second. I have a go. I complain to my mental health, and then what I'm doing on these videos is further complaining to my mental health by using any viewers, using people as a third person to witness my suffering. But I'm not saying it because of that. It's suffering, but because it's been instigated by somebody else. That's my viewpoint on it. So if I'm being beaten by somebody and I have no means to defend myself, it's a case of all I can do is hope that somebody comes in and gets this person off me from me hurting anymore. I've got nothing else to try it. So by referencing my circumstance to you, you're another individual witnessing this scenario. And what happens is my time's being wasted. That's all it is. My time is being wasted by my mental health. And they wanted to put a story on me that I'm moving forward. But it's to show that sorry, my ear's really bugging me. It's to show that given what our minds create for us, we have to stay practical, I guess I was trying to say. Sorry, the pressure in my ear is like cutting off part of my left brain, and it's becoming hard to think. And this is another thing I referenced before, Auto fucking Sergey, where a consciousness can come on and take control and give you ideas and lead you down roads that you wouldn't have thought of before. And I'm like, again, you're wasting my time. What's happened is I've hit my head against the wall with how much I can do as a human being. And people aren't willing to really step into help where they should. And furthermore, that's putting pressure on this consciousness that's running my mental health. And it's spirituality. I think what it is, it's like my life is a means to put pressure on spirituality. Somewhere within spirituality, it's very wrong, it's very ill, it's very fucked up. And that's all that's happening, really. I'm just complaining to spirituality and waiting for it to fucking get its mind together. Because I'm riding the storm, and I'm not doing a thing anymore, you know. It's like, and I think this is what I wanted to say. It's like, if my mental health started really antagonising me a few weeks ago, and I gave it a lot of energy, and over like a week, I got it back in check, then fine. You know, I've done something. My mental health was a problem. I've got it back in check. But no, what I'm experiencing, is, right, Andreas, we're going to make you suffer for a few weeks. And then we're going to give you an ego that you've done something to get yourself out of that place, out of that pickle. When in fact all it is we wanted to beat you for whatever reason for X amount of time, and we need to get out after X amount of time. And to do that, we'll give you an ego, so, you know, everything's covered. All bases are covered in terms of the disruption we've put on to a human. But he believes he's got himself out of it, so it's okay. But it's not the case, is it? I haven't got myself out of anything. I've just waited and been very patient for whatever's going on to just finish. And it looks like it might be finishing. I don't know. Tomorrow probably come back the same. And he's putting a lot of pressure on me because there's a point I wanted to make and it's not letting me think. And as I said, my ear's deaf and I can't think as a result in my left brain, and the pressure on me right now is insane. What I think I want to say is in your own lives, it's a similar situation. We think because we can do, we achieved, we did X, but what do we ever do, man? In this world, we don't really achieve a thing. The world is corrupted. There are people suffering on the other side of the world, and if we're honest with our own minds, we couldn't live with ourselves, given the luxuries we have, to the nothingness others have. Not only the nothingness in that suffering, but the suffering that comes from wars. As a result of our luxuries, as a result of our taxes, as a result of the money that goes to build the weapons from those taxes to go and create that suffering. As a result of our luxuries. So either you're aware of the situation and you're just like, there's nothing I can do, man. I'm just going to try and live my life my best for the people around me, and that's it. Or you're not. And you go on with your life, and you think, oh, I'm working, I'm doing good work here, I'm earning 20 grand, 30 grand a year. And with that money I do this and I do that and I do the other. And this time it's challenging and this time it's not. And if I do that, it helps. And if that... Nah, man. Nah. And I don't like speaking like this, but with my head that I can't think and I can't find the appropriate tone in my voice, so this is what is going to be left from me in terms of an expression, because it's not wrong. But it's nah. Nah, man. The world, there's something wrong with it. Either one, out of total chance and ignorance of how we've all come together as a species, from our separation from clans to nations to collective of nations to a world, and then all hell broke loose in terms of what we're seeing at present. And I'll leave it up to you if you want to decide if it's hell or not. But as a result of what I expressed before, in terms of people are in pain in this world as a result of luxury, simplistically. And with a little bit of, thinking, a few brain cells in the right place, the people in power, that could all change. It's like, oh, what are we doing? We've come together, we've done all this work, we've got all of these achievements, but yeah, no, something's really not right. Our achievements are creating problems on the other side of the world. Yeah, I can see it so clearly now. We've got to stop this. It's just got to end. I'm a human being. We're all human beings, Nobody wants to kill us first. Nobody wants to create pain first. It's almost like I want power, I want safety, I want security, I want this, I want that, I want the other. And as a result of all of those things, I'm willing to kill. We don't have to, innit? We just say, I want this, I want that, I want the other. But I'm a human being, I also want other human beings to have the same. And they're suffering as a result of what I want. So I have a chance I could either be a good person, help change the world in terms of the ingenuity and the technology and the advancements that we've created, and use it to good use. Supercomputers, man. We've got super fucking computers. We could put them to work to reallocate wealth around the world to those in need so easily. Supercomputers. We've got quantum computers now. Between all of them, a few minds putting the AI algorithms in, punching them in, and out comes the answers. It's not going to be hard. What will probably happen is, society will slow down in the West. We'll have more time. We'll take a cut back on the amount of luxuries. We still allow ourselves the necessities, food and water and electricity, heating. We don't deprive ourselves of that. We allocate resources to maintaining the infrastructure. We don't need any more. We just maintain the infrastructure, and that's it. Every country that's on the, that's doing well, abides by the same. And we're like, right, these people have just had a war. All war stops. No more wars. No more countries. Fuck it, we're all together. We're all human. I'm a human from that was the UK. This bit of land here. We use countries as a means to reference a place. Not as a flipping ego, isn't it? That you're willing to kill for and enslave for and feel an egoic pride for. It's just a country. It's just a place. And it's important, but it's just a place. What's important is the mind, our minds, that we don't see pain being created by our lives. And we take a step back. So the West is done, No more fucking disposable incomes, no more VR. If somebody really hasn't got a TV, we find the means to get them a TV and we start repairing shit. That's what we do. It's not really hard. We start putting efforts into growing vegetables in bits of land that we've got caged off, little triangles that do nothing. Can you imagine walking down the street and a bit of grassy land with a tree in it? It's just caged off. You can't go to it. It's like, what's the fucking point? What is the point? You're a human being, man. What is the point of that? You're a human being. Then you're a member of the fucking United Kingdom who's intoxicated by capitalism. Then you're a capitalist, but you're a human being first. Just all you have to do is think common sense. All we have to do is think. So all the wealth starts going to the places that need it, War stops, no more war. We have to address the immediate suffering. Israel, Palestine, it's a joke. It's like, stop the bombs just for a second. Right, there's rubble. Let's get the resources there, tidy it up, start creating some buildings. We've got fucking resources, man. If money wasn't a problem, we just send it to the right places. And the anguish that's in them, we have to deal with it. And it's just a place. There's no borders anymore. What is the difference if you just open up borders? Oh, I want to live here. Let me live there. What the fucking hell's the point? Doesn't matter. Are you going to be an arsehole? Are you going to shoot somebody? No. Then live there. I'll make a lot of noise. I'll find somewhere remote where I don't disturb anybody. That's what's needed. It's not hard. It's common sense. I don't want to disturb anybody, but I need a shelter. I need food. I need this. I need that. Really simple, common fucking sense. So we relocate wealth to where it's needed. The favelas in Brazil, they've got land like nothing. They've got machines that can build They've got machines that can build houses now. Let's send a few of those machines to Brazil. Get those favelas sorted, because they're trouble Andreas. Trouble Andreas' mind, man. And if they trouble Andreas' mind, then that's his life. And, well, you know, what he's speaking about, if I'm honest, makes sense. And I don't want to be troubled, so let's just leave Andreas to be troubled and listen to him. Let's send a few of those machines to Brazil. Sort out those fucking favelas, man. Running sewage down the streets. Crime, poverty. And you've got fucking land and we've got fucking resources. For what? Because we've come together in ignorance. And we're all afraid. That's it. Or there's a conspiracy. Or there's an elite running the world and they are fucking malicious. Like, their minds are turned off, their hearts are turned off, they're dead. That's what we're dealing with. That is the scenario. Ignorance or conspiracy. Let's leave the conspiracies out of the way because they make things complicated and just look at it simplistically. Right, we've come together. There's an elite running the world. Who knows what they fucking want if they're willing to put us through this? I can't imagine it. Can you imagine somebody who would think to create an environment like this for a human race, nearly 8 billion people, when it could be harmony? It could be bliss. We could live in paradise, given the technology and advancements we have. If we just applied a little bit of heart and mind to the situation. Now, like within a few years, the whole world could be paradise. The technologies that are available are insane. That is the scenario of life. We are real. We cannot live. It is either because of ignorance or because of somebody that needs healing beyond anything. So what do you do? Because I complain. And I would have applied tact before because I was in my 20s and I still had a chance, I still had an ambition to help the world. But that's sort of been ended, you know? It's like, I will give him a mental health condition for 13 years. I'm 35 now. And I've got no chance of helping the world. I mean, I would have tried before. I would have done whatever I could. But I could barely get dressed in the morning, you know. I can't create a means of creating a shelter for myself just to live because of the society on the outside. It would be challenging because I've got a mental health condition first. But I'd do it. I'd just scream all fucking day, you know. And I'd make a shelter. Nobody else is responsible. I haven't got society giving me a headache. Spirituality can do one. I'll just make a shelter. It's not going to be hard, but I can't because I'm in society and I have to be respectful to other people. So I can't go and do that. I've lost my train of thought, but I complain. I say something. I see what I see. I'm impartial to it. I wish to see bliss, and I'm not seeing bliss. So I have to. I have to be honest to myself. It's like either I'm ill in the first place, and I've created a very unpleasant life for myself as a result of a deep ingrained illness that I wasn't aware of, or I want to create bliss. And reality keeps telling me it's not possible. I'm not able to create a blissful state of mind given reality. So I'm being honest with myself in what I see to the world. That's what I'm getting at. I don't want either. I don't want the deep ingrained illness, and I don't want the unpleasant reality I'm faced with. So in myself, I know I wish to create a blissful state, a blissful life, a blissful mind. But either because of my mental health, that it keeps making it negative, or as a result of other forces, the outside environment, making it negative. Or I'm lying to myself, that's what I'm saying. And I really enjoy this. But the truth is, between... What am I trying to get at? Sorry, it's really hard to think in my head as it is, so thank you for being patient with me. I can't think enough because of the numbness. So what I'll try and do is just carry on in a different way. I hope you understood what I was trying to say there. I can't do any more there. But essentially, I believe I'm telling myself the truth. I'd like to create a blissful life. But from what I see on the outside, yes, I've got a mental health disorder that's unpleasant. But I'm very disturbed by what I see on the outside. I can't do a thing about my mental health. And in the right place, the right community, the right space, my mental health would be helped. Would be nurtured. It would be harnessed in the right way, but it's not. I can't create a blissful mind. And my mental health is really pushing me. It's not going to let me say what I want to say on this, and it's killing me. So I'm going to come back to it if I can think, because I'm not going to fight my mental health. I'm not going to fight this pressure, and I'm What I was trying to say is, if you're honest with yourself in what you see as an experience of life, just be honest. And you see the world, and you see how your life, our lives, impact the rest of the world. It's impossible, isn't it, to really be blissful unless you're ill. Unless you're arguably more ill than me. That's what I was trying to say. Just be honest with yourself about what you see in the world. Understand how our luxuries create pain, real suffering, real suffering that we would never wish to ever experience. And we get to a realization that if we're not able to live any form of enjoyment or life, and those who can are just cherry-picked to suffer and not suffer, it's like the whole world's suffering. We have this means of communication that can be very simplistic. And we have the amount of resources to put it right is getting a joke. It's going to start hurting me. I know. The more I see us advance as a species, it's going to be like, yeah, but we're still suffering, man. We've got all of these technologies, and we're still suffering. When we could put it to good use. So, you know, we protest, we hashtag, we socially instigate campaigns and means to help others, but we're still here, man. Our taxes are still going to make bombs. Bombs are still making suffering. Sure, war has changed, but war exists. We don't need war, man. And that's it. There's no hope, really, is there? We're fucked as a species. In truth, let's be honest, because what can I ask of you, the 8 people that will watch this video, to start to do that will make change? I'm here, I can see truth, I live truth, I can see the favelas in Brazil need these houses to make these machines to make houses like in next to no time, because we have that ability and we are human beings. We are human beings. And I guess this is what I'm going to either learn. I'm going to just hit my head against this wall and complain. But mental health doesn't give me the chance, you know. It's like I don't have the opportunity to switch off from truth, because it's like it's constantly there. Three solid weeks at least of just relentless beatings, where I'm not able to think and catch my breath. And I can't. I can't do a thing else, you know. When it gets tough like that, I'll start shouting. There's nothing I can do. It's like, that's what's going to happen with my mental health, and as a result, and I'm stuck here. I have no means to do a thing on the outside. And when I'm complaining to my mental health, and I'm half here, and I'm seeing the outside, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not just my mental health that's responsible for this. It's the outside world. And I start complaining about the outside world. So I think this is my merry-go-round for the rest of my life. But I'm sure I'll get bored of expressing my viewpoint on our achievements, and just continue with my mental health, and just, you know, numb the mind to everything, and keep it very simplistic, shut myself off, become totally isolated one day. That's what's on the cards. I can't see another way forward until we sort this mess on the outside out. What do you reckon? How does that affect you and your life? Because I crave a normal life, man. I crave to be able to use those luxuries, you know. It's like I'd prostitute this truth just to have ease in my life. There's no way this could be lived out of choice. So I understand, you know, there's nothing you can really do either. So that's what I'll do. I'll present a realization I've had of how bad things are. Make your merry-go-round as blissful as possible. Because we're all waiting, man. And I've said it before. As a species, we need to get our act together and start hurling abuse at aliens. Because we've got benevolent fucking aliens sitting there in the sky. This is my understanding. This is my teachings that have come my way from reputable sources. I'll leave it up to you to go your own speed on accepting if aliens exist or not. And if they do, what that means. But we've got benevolent fucking aliens sitting there in the sky watching us. We need help. We're a mess. We can't really do it. You know? And they need to feel their own madness of not helping. And that's it.